They call it in the musical called the stage control. So, yeah, you can see it on
They're getting mad because they're sharing them.
and we're gonna drop them. A little bit.
All right, it is promptly 7 o'clock, so we're going to begin the City Commission meeting, and excited to have a lot of guests here tonight. So with that, I'd ask you to stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, for the millions listening at home, if you can see, we have a very busy night tonight and something very exciting to celebrate. But first, we will move on to roll call.
Benson.
Here.
Brunig.
Here.
Johnson.
Present.
Maibaum.
Present.
Minor.
Here.
Schramm.
Here.
Villanueva.
Present.
Mayor Mosier.
Here.
City Manager Leon.
Here.
City Attorney Denherter.
Here.
Moving on to the next item under routine business is to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March 13th, 2023. What is your pleasure?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the commission? Anybody in the public? All those in favor of approving the minutes say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. And anybody abstaining? Motion carries. We have two proclamations in front of the City Commission meeting tonight. Both very worthy causes, for sure. The first one is the National March for Meals Month. Whereas March for Meals is a campaign which seeks to raise awareness of senior hunger and to encourage action on the part of local community during the month of March through volunteer recruitment and fundraising initiatives. And whereas Mayor for Meals works in conjunction with the March for Meals that involves mayors, elected officials, and other employees throughout the city to help raise awareness of senior hunger in their local area. And whereas the mayors and other local officials will help deliver meals to those in need, and whereas 2023 marks the 49th anniversary of the Meals on Wheels Association, and now therefore I, Stephanie Mosier, Mayor of Yankton, South Dakota, do hereby proclaim the month of March 2023 as the March for Meals Month in the city of Yankton. Do we have anybody here from the, I don't think so, from the center? Okay. As you can see here, we have a proclamation, and we will make sure that they get a copy of that to have for them. Our second proclamation tonight, as I said, you can see we have a fuller commission chambers than we usually do on a Monday meeting, unless all of you have decided to take up city politics and are going to continue to attend. No. Okay. So that's not why they're here tonight, so let's get on to why they're here tonight. Before I read the proclamation, I just want the commission to know I had the privilege of speaking at their Welcome Home celebration, and wanted to share a couple thoughts that I shared then to all of you if you weren't able to make it or listen to it, because I do think this team did something pretty special out in Rapid. Somebody said to me, there couldn't have been a lot of points that separated those games. And I said, no, I think they were close, because all of them gave me a heart attack. And I was holding my breath as I was watching them. But I had the faith that you guys had, and I knew we were going to pull it off. But I went and added it up, 14 points. I probably could have asked Coach. He probably has that memorized. But 14 points was the total of points that separated us from the other teams in all three games combined. So that was pretty cool. It was really impressive. Our community, we should all be very, very proud of the Yankton community. There was a sea of white on Thursday and a sea of black on Friday out there supporting the boys basketball team. And I think I said at the welcome, a sea of red. I lied. that's not large enough. There was an ocean of red at that game on Saturday from our community. So it was really awesome, and I know a lot of you were home watching and yelling, and trust us, we heard you in Rapid. So it was very, very exciting. The other thing I wanted to share that was really, really cool is we had somebody come up to us in the hotel lobby. And this would probably be true of the entire tournament because we definitely didn't have the height on the court that other teams brought to the games. But we definitely, I think, had the biggest hearts, the most skill, and the will of determination to win. And that proved its case in Rapid. So we are here to celebrate tonight the 2023 State Boys Basketball Champions. I have a proclamation of appreciation for the Yankton Bucks basketball team. Whereas the Yankton Bucks are the South Dakota Class AA state basketball champions for the 2022-23 season, and whereas the city of Yankton is grateful for the players, staff, coaches, cheerleaders, and fans who displayed professional sportsmanship during this season, and especially during the state tournament in Rapid City. And whereas our great city of Yankton recognizes the economic uplifting generated by this positive spirit displayed this season, and whereas a successful sports team is part of a strong school system preparing the next generation to become leaders, skilled workers, and responsible, healthy citizens in our community. Now, therefore, I, Stephanie Mosier, Mayor of Yankton, South Dakota, and my fellow city commissioners and citizens of Yankton, South Dakota, would like to proclaim heartfelt appreciation to the 22-23 Yankton Bucks basketball team for the time, energy, skills, fulfillment, and commitment they have put in toward attaining the title of state champions, and proclaim March 18th, 2023 as Yankton Bucks Day. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, that always never seems like enough. Coach, I have asked Coach Haynes, unless he elected somebody else to speak on the behalf of the team, but before we do that, we do always, I know you're eager to visit with us tonight. We do always, this is our third state championship that we have celebrated since I've been mayor, so that's pretty exciting. But what we do with that is we always love to get a picture of the team with the commission. So we will ask you all to come up front. Tall people in the back, and then we'll fill in accordingly with the commissioners. All right, well, join me up front, and then I'll turn it over to Coach Haynes.
I can't relate.
Oh, they want us in the picture? Yep. Oh, okay.
Please around, we'll see everybody stand here. Might have to squeeze. Everybody squeeze in.
And I was showing proper school spirit by harassing my friends from Mitchell the last 2 weekends.
All right, I can tell Coach Haynes loves you boys because I did say, well, if one of them wants to speak to the city commission on your behalf as well, and he said, I think I got this. So, Coach Haynes.
Thanks for having us. It won't take long. I know you guys got a busy agenda here tonight, so I'll try to keep it short and sweet. But anytime you win a championship, it's not just shared by the team. It's definitely shared by the players and our team, but also their families, the entire high school, and the entire community. And we really saw that out in Rapid City. Even though we were, by far the farthest team away out there, we had the best support. There was more people there from Yankton than anywhere else. And given the circumstances of the weather, that's just crazy to think that. But I think that's a testament to the pride in this community, the pride the community has in its school and its activities. And so for us, we couldn't be happier or more thankful for the support that we had out there. And like I said, even with the weather, there's people that came out Wednesday night instead and got a whole nother night of hotel rooms. And it's quite a sacrifice to go all the way to Rapid City, from Wednesday or even Thursday, or even those that came out Friday and Saturday, hotel rooms and meals and all that kind of stuff. But for those that made the trip, they definitely got their money's worth on the games. The guys played extremely well, and not only our community, but I think the thing that's really that our guys can take as a compliment as well is, I don't know how many people in the last week or even when we're out in Rapid that come up to me that from outside of Yankton and just saying how much they loved our team and loved watching them play. Beating a couple Sioux Falls schools didn't hurt. But they just, and we tell our guys all the time, if you play hard and you play together and you play the game the right way, people will come watch you. They appreciate that and they enjoy that. And above all, I think this team, they epitomize that more than anything. They really played hard. They really care about each other and played very well together. Our chemistry was a huge reason for our success. And they play the game the right way. So, and again, for you guys, thanks for having us, Mayor and the Commission. We appreciate it. So, thank you.
Oh, Coach, you're not getting off that easy. I have a question for you. So,
Sure.
Most folks might not know this team started unranked at the beginning of the season and to end up with the state championship. What do you think is the key? We're not asking for the trade secrets because we're not going to give that up to anybody else. But what do you think really catapulted you from being an unranked team to eventually winning the state championship?
I think there was a lot of parity in AA. We talked about it the first game, and I know it put a little chip on their shoulders for that, and it seemed like all year, trying to fight for recognition. Going into the first game of the year, we're playing at Harrisburg. They're preseason number 2, and rightfully so. They were in the semifinals last year and had a lot of key pieces back. But we kind of challenged our guys before that game that, hey, we were in the state tournament last year too, and we got a lot of pieces back. And we were a couple possessions away from knocking off the number 1 seed Roosevelt in the first round. And they're number 2, and we're nowhere ranked at all. And, to these guys, no shock to us. They went out there and knocked off Harrisburg that first game. And I think all year they just kind of had that chip on their shoulder. And even going in the state tournament, we were 16-5 in the 4 seed, and you didn't really hear a lot of buzz about Yankton being able to win the whole thing. And so, again, I think our guys use that for motivation all year. But what were the keys? I think you kind of said it, and these guys, they're fierce competitors. Again, they might not be the biggest or most intimidating team when you look at them, but they definitely never back down from a challenge, that's for sure.
I love it. I can agree to that. I saw a lot of their games, and they never gave up, so that's awesome. Any questions? Anybody else want to say anything or add anything?
If I could, I just want to say congratulations. State championship is no small feat. I know it took a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and a lot of sacrifice. And so thank you for representing Yankton, and way to go. Congratulations.
Yeah, I think sometimes people think state championships happen overnight, but I know a lot of these kids have been playing since middle school and really putting the time in on and off the court to get to where they're at today. So very impressive.
One thing I'd like to add is, as the parent of a 4-year-old, it's impressive how you guys act as this awesome figure of motivation for these young kids that want to someday wear the red and black of Yankton. And so it's really incredible to see that after the games, all the young elementary, middle school kids running down there trying to get signatures and try to, shake your hand and say hi to one of the players. It's just incredible. So thank you for being that role model for those young kids, because it's not just with your play, but with your character around the community. So thank you, guys.
Anybody else?
I would echo what Mason said, having boys myself who got to experience Bucks basketball in full force for several days. And we're still working on the character thing with Bennett because he had to photobomb Rugby's interview after the game. And so just want to take this opportunity to publicly apologize for my 11-year-old for photobombing your interview, which was great, but he apparently wanted his 5 seconds of fame.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again, Coach, to you, the other coaches, and all the players, cheerleaders, everybody. I know it takes a small village to do what you guys did, and we couldn't be more proud of you and happy to be your biggest supporters. So congratulations again.
Thank you.
Yes. And now I know I'm really going to earn bonus points because I'm going to take just a small break to let you guys leave. Unless you really want to stick around for the rest of the meeting, you are welcome to go. All right, as soon as they exit here, I'm going to turn it over to City Manager Leon for the City Manager's report.
Okay. That's not the only thing we have to celebrate tonight. We also have a birthday, and it's been the tradition when someone has a birthday on City Commission night that we sing. So it is Mayor Mosier's birthday. We're celebrating the life in her years today, so I hope you'll join me and sing Happy Birthday. I'm going to turn my mic off, but I'm still going to sing. We do, to further get people to stay at the meeting, we have treats. So anybody that sticks around after the meeting, you have a birthday treat. So happy birthday, Mayor. Other items to lift up here for you guys. Citywide cleanup has begun in the sense that folks can take things out to the transfer station and they can put things out on the curb. Our curbside collection will begin April 3rd, so hopefully Mother Nature will cooperate with that. So please check out our social media and our website for all the information on citywide cleanup. Our SAC task force met on a week ago this evening, on the 19th, I believe that was Monday, and we got together and talked quite a bit about finances, about the loss in the transfer to the general fund, about revenue, about memberships, and the group came back with some specific questions, so we're digging into some other communities and seeing a little bit more, understanding a little bit more about their financials of their fitness centers. They also had some specific questions about Great Life and their finances and some of the things that influence our operations. So Todd Larson and Lisa Yardley and Luke Yeomans are working with them to see what information they might be willing to share with us so we can bring that back to them. Only a few meetings left. We're going to firm up our recommendations, our list of things that we'd like to bring forward to you all to consider, and that'll come forward at a commission meeting, and probably some come forward to you at budget time as well. So we're looking forward to getting those to you as well. I also want to just give a nod to all of our emergency service folks, police, fire, EMS, county emergency management, I believe state highway patrol, probably game fish and parks. We had quite a busy week last week when it comes to emergencies and reasons why people need our help. And so it was a lot of things that happened for a small group of people in a short amount of time. And none of those things happened successfully without the help of our E911 dispatchers and their ability to communicate with our emergency service people. So just if you see someone out there that's on one of those crews, shake their hand and thank them. It was a cumbersome week for them, and that's some heavy stuff sometimes, so we appreciate all that they do. On your consent calendar this evening, Commissioners, two things that I want to just point out to you. First would be the notice to call for the City of Yankton election. As you know, we have an election coming up on April 11th. And the call is right now scheduled for 12 p.m. on Friday. We typically hold that at City Hall, but want to give you the opportunity, if you'd rather have it here and have it on video and live, we can do that as well. Just want some clarification on that. Otherwise, what we do is we typically have it in one of the meeting rooms upstairs. It is a city meeting, so we do want to make sure we have a quorum there, but just want to talk to you about that. I won't be able to be in attendance at that time, but Al's looking forward to it. But we just want to be clear on where you want to hold that.
And just a clarification on the quorum, has to be a quorum of at least 5 of you not named Mosier, Maibaum, and Brunig.
Oh, that is a good clarification. So, City Hall okay, or do you want to?
I would prefer to have it here, just because there's been publicly so many questions about elections. We might as well just have it here, have it on camera, and everyone can see what we're doing.
We will contact the school district since it's not a regular meeting day, but we'll assume it's here unless you all hear otherwise from us, and we will make sure we have it broadcasts for everyone to see on YouTube. We'll talk with the school. The second item is to talk about the budget meeting already, if you can believe that. June 12th is your regular commission meeting, first meeting in June. What we propose is that we start that budget session for the capital improvement plan at 5:30. Work until our meeting time, your regular meeting time, adjourn for your regular meeting. If you so choose, continue on after your regular meeting with the budget meeting, and then hold that next day, June 13th, which is a Tuesday, here at 5:30 to continue that discussion for the capital improvement plan. That's how we've been handling it the last couple of years. So unless we hear otherwise when you go through your consent calendar, that's what we are intending to. And we'll come forward soon with a date for the other budget meetings since for your summer calendar. Otherwise, happy to stand for questions. Thank you.
Amy, you mentioned this in your report, but you mentioned all the emergency response. And I know in our commission information memorandum, there was a story about the distribution staff who had a water main break, and it was going to impact some hotels, so guests at motels when they were fixing it. And so our crews went out at midnight and worked through the night to fix it. So I just want to recognize them for that, I think, tremendous show of devotion to their job and the people we serve.
Yeah, I think they wanted to inconvenience the businesses as least possible, so that was their intention. And, there's a lot of city work that isn't glamorous. Working in the water and the temperatures we've had at 1 in the morning is one of those, but they got it fixed and we're back online, so.
Any other questions for the city manager? Clarification? All right, seeing none, then we'll move on to public appearances. This is the time for people to appear in front of the City Commission on something not on the agenda tonight. Seeing no movement, we will move on to the consent agenda. We have 5 items in front of you tonight. Number 1 is to establish 12 p.m. on Friday, April 14th, 2023, as the time and date of a notice to call a special city commission meeting to canvass the election returns of the City of Yankton election that will be held on Tuesday, April 11th, 2023. Number 2 is setting the date of June 12th, 2023, with a second date of June 13th, 2023, to be used if necessary at 5:30 p.m. here in the City Commission meeting room to to discuss capital improvement plan. Number 3 is to establish April 10th, 2023 as the date for a public hearing on the request for a special events retail on-sale malt beverage and special retail on-sale wine dealer's license for one day, April 19th, 2023, from Mount Marty University Aladdin, Mount Marty University campus located 1105 West 8th Street. Number 4 is to establish April 10th, 2023 as the date for a public hearing on the request for a transfer of ownership of a retail on-off sale malt beverage and South Dakota farm wine license for June 30th, 2022 to July 1st, 2023 from B-Rad LLC doing business as Bro Burger Bar, Lauren Sokup owner, to DBC LLC doing business as Bro Burger Bar, Lauren Sokup owner. That is at 304 West 3rd Street. And number 5 is to establish April 10th, 2023 as the date for a public hearing on the request for a special malt beverage on sale retailer's license for one day, August 19th, 2023 from the Yankton Rodeo Association, Doug Heavily, president. That is at the rodeo grounds, 404 Paddle Wheel Drive. What is your pleasure on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second. We do have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion? Anybody in the public? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. And anybody abstaining? Consent agenda passed. Moving on to number 3 of the agenda, old business. Number 1 is consideration of memorandum 23-48 regarding the request for a special events retail on-sale liquor license for one day, April 1st, 2023 from Ben's Brewing Company, Ben Hanton owner at 222 West 3rd Street for Sacred Heart Gala, which will be located at St. Benedict Church Dining Room at 1500 St. Benedict Drive. What is your pleasure?
So moved.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Is there any commission discussion on this? Anybody in the public? Roll call.
Schramm.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Brunig.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Mybom.
Aye.
Minor.
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Aye. Motion carries. Number 2 under old business is consideration of memorandum 23-49 regarding the request for the transfer of ownership and location of a retail on-off sale malt beverage and South Dakota farm wine license for July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023 from Zacon Inc., Robert Zacher, president, doing business as Roadrunner Convenience Mart at 300 West 23rd Street, Suite 2, to Diggers Inc., Larry Olson, partner, doing business as Diggers 2.0 at 511 West 4th Street, Suite B. What is your pleasure?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion on this? Anybody in the public? Roll call.
Weber.
Aye.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Brunig.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Mybom.
Aye.
Minor.
Aye.
Schramm.
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Aye, motion carries. Moving on to new business on our agenda. Number 1 is an introduction and first reading and establish April 10th as the date for a public hearing for a building code ordinance amendment, consideration of memorandum 23-46 regarding ordinance number 1071, an amendment to the shelter design wind speed. Can I get an introduction?
Introduced.
Thank you. Number 2 under new business is consideration of memorandum 23-50 regarding the downtown Yankton facade grant recommendations. I don't know if I want to turn it over to City Manager Leon or Mr. Mingo. Sure. Okay.
Honorable Mayor, members of the commission, this is our 8th year for the Downtown Facade Grant Program, if you can imagine that. This was established to promote the Meridian District and to provide something for visible change in the Meridian District. And it's been very successful and really popular. We had a lot of applications this year, 13 applications. And the committee is recommending that you fund 3 projects utilizing $30,000 of the budgeted facade grants for 2023. If approved, matched with the private dollars, that's about over $60,000 of investment in the downtown Meridian District in terms of improvement projects. So the three that have been recommended, and we have a committee of Crystal Nelson, who provides us with some of the historical perspective, Deb Speck, who has a good understanding of real estate, Mason Schramm, who is your liaison, also a good understanding of real estate, Brad Warner, who has is partial owner, I believe, in a downtown business and is in the district, as well as city staff, Dave Bingo, Brad Bees, and myself. And we're recommending to you three projects this evening. The first being 1313 Cedar Street. Mandy Gowsey, doing business as Boston Shoes to Boots. Her plan is to restore that historic Boston Shoes to Boots sign and reinstall it at her new store relocation. The rehabilitation includes some lighting and refurbishing of the sign, and that total project estimate cost is $19,370. So we're recommending grant funding of $9,685. The second recommendation we have is 515 East 4th Street. That's Jeff Dayhoff, doing business as Dayhoff Development, to complete some exterior building rehabilitation. That's the A1 building, folks like to call it. So new siding, trim, paint, and lighting, with a total project cost estimate of $41,893. Grant funding to recommending the $15,643, which is the approximate cost of the exterior painting. 106 Capitol Street, Paul Lowry, doing business as Gurney Development, window repair and replacement in the red brick mill section. So the windows are currently covered right now with plywood. If you can picture that in your mind, they'd be opened up and repaired with historically accurate windows appropriate for the building. So that total project estimate is $9,340. And we're recommending grant funding of $4,670. So the property owners have been informed, and they know that you'll be acting on these tonight. Dave and I are happy to answer any specific questions that you might have.
Any specific questions? If not, then what is your pleasure?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion?
I just want to mention, Amy mentioned Brad Bees, but he makes it really easy for us to get together and work on this as a group, and does a lot of work with the applicants. So the quality of the projects, I think, keeps going up year after year because people are well educated on what they need to do to finish the project, but also start with a good project in mind. So.
See, Jeff is here. Do you want to share anything about your plans for the property?
If you could state your name for the record.
Jeff Dayhoff from Dayhoff Development. Has everybody seen the plans that we submitted, or is that, okay. Well, I guess I won't talk about that. It's just putting new siding, and Amy has agreed with me to be the exterior designer of the colors of the building there. And
To be fair, I didn't want to see it black or zebra stripes. So Billy Joe and I are going to work on appropriate exterior cladding.
Yeah, she suggested pink, and I'm suggesting we better go to but as you all know, and I know everybody here, I love Yankton, and when that building came up, I thought that's a real, our east side coming in. I grew up in Vermillion, and that east side coming in, we need to continue to work on. And I thought, well, that's going to be a good investment opportunity, but it's also going to make a big impact on coming into Yankton, as Dan Speck did, doing that corner and everything. So I thought it would be a good project for Yankton. I think it's going to be a good investment, and I've had a lot of people that have come in to buy a lot, because I bought it lock, stock, and barrel with everything inside, and I've had a lot of people coming in to buy the things in there, and a lot of interest from it's almost 6,000 square feet inside, not counting the 4,000 square foot garage on the backside, which is cold storage. But had somebody interested in the entire unit, and I've had a lot of people wanting to, like 2,000 square feet or 1,500, as well as even, I could chop it up into 1,000 foot. And if you've never been in there, it's got beautiful wood ceilings. And so we're working on that. If you have any leads or somebody that's looking for some retail space, I'm just saying that's what the plan is, to help the economic growth of Yankton as well as the appearance. And I'm doing my best all the time to try to do that. So thank you.
Awesome,
Anybody have
thank
any
you.
questions?
I just appreciate you taking on that project because it's definitely an area of town that could use some work, so thank you.
Thank you.
Any other commission questions, discussion? Anybody in the public? Roll call.
Villanueva,
Aye.
Benson,
Aye.
excuse me, Brunick,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Mybom,
Aye.
Minor,
Aye.
Schramm,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Aye, motion carries. And I do just want to say thank you to all the business owners who put proposals in. 13 is a big number, and to hear a lot of them, all of them qualified and with good ideas, would encourage those that weren't selected to obviously come back and try again, as we try to make this a priority to do every year in partnering with our business owners. And my thanks to all of them who put that in, and then also to the committee, because if you had 13, Commissioner Schramm, I can only imagine trying to weed that down to 3. So kudos to you and Crystal Nelson, Deb Speck, Brad Warner, and city staff for doing that on our behalf. Number 3, under new business, is consideration of memorandum 23-51 regarding a bid award for liquid asphalt. This is to Jebro Incorporated out of Sioux City, Iowa, and we have partnered with them for several years. What is your pleasure?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion? Anybody in the public? Roll call.
Benson,
Aye.
Brunick,
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Mybom,
Aye.
Minor,
Aye.
Schramm,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Villanueva,
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Aye, motion carries. Number 4, under new business, is consideration of memorandum 23-52 regarding a bid award for bituminous. I practiced saying that, by the way. Adam's smiling, so I must have made him proud. Bituminous mix. That is to, in your commission packet, Knife River, South Dakota, out of Sioux Falls, for $86 a ton, and we have used them before in the past. What is your pleasure?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion? Anybody else want to try to say that word? Anybody in the public? Good job. We had one more, brave soul. Roll call.
Brunick,
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Mybom,
Aye.
Minor,
Aye.
Schramm,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Villanueva,
Aye.
Benson,
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Aye, motion carries. Number 5, under new business, is consideration of memorandum 23-53 regarding a bid acceptance for Douglas Avenue reconstruction from Levy Street to 2nd Street. We did receive 2 bids on this. Masonry Components is the low bid for $592,255.30. As you saw in your commission packet, this is over the engineer's estimate by $87,981.30, but is still below the budgeted price. What is your pleasure?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any commission discussion? Anybody in the public? Roll call.
Johnson,
Aye.
Mybom,
Aye.
Minor,
Aye.
Schramm,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Villanueva,
Aye.
Benson,
Aye.
Brunick,
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Aye, motion carries. Number 6, under new business, is consideration of memorandum 23-47 regarding resolution 23-09, an offer to purchase an option on Lot 3, except for the about 2.39 acre drainage easement in Block 1 of Meads addition to the city of Yankton. I'll probably just stop there and turn it over to Mr. Mingo to walk us through what's being proposed tonight.
Good evening. Typically, what we see when we have development proposals on city-owned land is an purchase agreement. This is a little bit different than that because it's an offer to purchase an option on the property. So technically speaking, the property would continue to be marketed and available, but if approved, the developer would have the option to exercise a purchase agreement at such time that their project came together within the timelines defined in the memo, or such time that there was another valid offer made on the property. There's a mechanism within the option to purchase that they would be first in line, a right of first refusal for the acquisition of that property. So what is being proposed here at this location, which is southwest of the intersection of Broadway Avenue and the future 33rd Street, is a mixed-use development that includes some restaurants, some retail beverage, and potentially some housing also. The phases are outlined in the memo, expiring or sunsetting in 18 months, 3 years, and 5 years. The development, as it moves forward, might not proceed in those time increments, although those are the ones specifically spelled out for phase locations, but phase 2 might end up coming before phase 1, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's a partnership that has local ties called Corner Kick LLC, and the option would be function through Thrive Partnership also, like we always do with these property options or purchase agreements. And we're, as a staff and speaking with the developer, we're excited that we've got a development partner with local ties that are interested in working on continuing development in the community. And we do have representation from that partnership here to speak with you also, if you want to hear that.
So Dave, in the packet, then that's at $50,000 an acre, correct?
Correct, yep. $50,000 an acre for a little over 6 acres out of Lot 3 in Meads Addition.
Questions from the commission? If not, what is your pleasure?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there commission discussion as tied to this? We're going to let Mr. Hosmer off early. Easy tonight? I know you would. No questions from the commission? Is there any question? Oh,
With Dave here, is there anything more you want to add for the public's benefit about what this project could end up looking like?
My name is David Hosmer, Madam Mayor, City Manager, Board of City Commissioners. And I'm acting tonight as an attorney. I represent Corner Kick LLC, which is a South Dakota LLC. It has two owners, 50% owners. The first one is Van Buskirk Properties, but it's their holding company, VBC Holdings. Van Buskirk Properties is a large contractor out of Sioux Falls. They've specialized in mall settings. They've also specialized in large home developments and so forth. The second partner is PS Steff Inc., otherwise doing his business as Stephanie Tamasier Interiors, which is my wife. And her experience has been in design. And she has done some flipping of homes, and she's done some other development, commercial, industrial, residential, et cetera. And she's interested in getting involved in a project like this because she has an interest in Yankton and an interest in business. She really likes the idea. So I've had someone ask me, can we name the party that we're trying to lure into Yankton? I would prefer not to at this moment, but I will tell you that it's a Fortune 500 company. It's a company that is expanding. It's in the process of expanding. It's got 15 to 20,000 locations around the United States. It's very successful. The key to enticing them is simply a location. They only care about location and visibility. I think this is an extraordinarily good location. If this location were to be successful, I'm hoping that we can lure a restaurant. I'm really eager to see another sit-down restaurant in Yankton. I think it's just a bias of mine that I want to go out and I want to have a good time and I want to sit down in a restaurant. So we'll do our very best to try and lure somebody there. It is a good location, let's face it. You're going to be standing next to, several thousand students at a soccer match. You're going to be across the street from an extraordinarily large retailer. You have multiple places for dining nearby. You have housing on the north side of Yankton that just is begging for, in my opinion, some more housing. Some more dining. And then third, I think it's fairly common to say that the city of Yankton needs more housing. I can remember when I sat in your seats in May of 1994, and my first vote, and yours, was to vote in favor of extending a water line down below the bluffs for Heine's so that we could have water mains down there because we had a housing crisis in 1994. We had a housing crisis in 1989 and 93 and 94, 97, 2000. We've been talking about housing since then constantly. And frankly, we just need to show up and do a better job, that being people in the community. We need to start investing. So I'm hoping that I can do that through my wife and through Van Buskirk Properties. I want to thank Dave Mingo for being very generous with his time and also with providing me some of the information regarding housing. If I were to wave a magic wand, I think probably the best use of that particular location for housing would be 3 to 4 story multifamily use. If you think about it, why wouldn't you want to live in a multifamily use at that location? You got restaurants, hopefully you got a Fortune 500 business nearby, you got Fortune 500s across the street, you're next to a soccer field, you're next to the Mead Museum, you're next to a highway. I think it has all of the nice visibility that you'd want to have there. It's very easy access. So that's what the hope is. I will say that it is all dependent upon the first particular location, the first person, the first party. If they are successful in doing this, I think we'll know it's the 3 steps. The first step is making a request to a developer who specializes in working for this particular entity. We'll know within 6 weeks. After the 6 weeks, if it's propped up, it will be sent to a corporate designer, so to speak. The corporate designers are, by the way, just absolutely stacked up right now. They have, someone told me as many as 1,500 locations they already have under contract that they haven't built. That's a lot. So that's why you're seeing this extraordinarily odd use of options. I apologize. I'm willing to take, I think these parties are willing to take some risk, but not to the point where it would be difficult for them to they're not professional. My wife is not a professional developer in that sense. Van Buskirk is. I'm trying to entice other people to come down to Yankton, and Van Buskirk is one of them. And then after that, they typically will let you know within about 12 to 18 months. So that's the timeline. I'd be more than happy to keep Mr. Mingo appraised of exactly what we find out. I think it's only fair to let everybody know. So those are the comments I have. If anybody has any questions about any of them, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Thank you for that, Mr. Hosmer. That was a great information shared there.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that and how you came about coming up with this plan on behalf of our community. So any questions?
I just think it's great that there's the potential here to take care of a lot of challenges our community is facing through this one project. So thanks for investing in Yankton, and I hope you're successful.
So do I. I will also say this. If I do have a preference, the preference is that I'd like to find somebody from South Dakota who actually operates a sit-down restaurant right now, so they know the climate of South Dakota. We've already reached out to a number of them. Very challenging. I can't begin to tell you how challenging it is to find restaurant owners who are willing to expand outside their own city limits. So I'll be talking to Mr. Mingo about ways that we can try and lure these people here. It's a challenge. It's a hard business. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Anything else?
All right. Any other comments, questions from the commission? One last time there. Anybody else in the public? Roll call.
Mybom.
Aye.
Minor,
Aye.
Schramm,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Villanueva,
Aye.
Benson,
Aye.
Brunig,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Mayor Moser.
Aye, motion carries. Mr. Hosmer, please please let the Corner Kick LLC know that we've got our fingers crossed and we're in their corner rooting for them, and we hope it all turns out.
Thank you very much.
Yes. All right, with that, we have no other business in front of the City Commission tonight, except for all of you in the room are not leaving without a sweet treat, because there are a lot of sweet treats up here. So please make sure you take something with you. With that, I would ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting of March 27th.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Anybody abstaining? This meeting is adjourned. Have a great night, folks.